Oh, my God. Look at this.
Oi! Troy. How are you, Neil? Roy!
It's Mitch Lewis.
Man, you know, you're the best.
Rhymes with Jewess. Yes,
You are
I am
the
the
best.
best, and I'm sitting here working for the worst bunch of Bush League broadcasters in the history of the human race. Where are you?
And you know, that's the problem with it, is that it's the business that you're in, and
The
the worst thing
sucks.
about it is it's the city of the business that you're in.
Right. Did you call to get me depressed?
No, but I
Oh.
called to, you know, I know South Florida's not going to like what I have to say.
Where
but,
are
you? Know,
you? Where are you?
I'm in Burbank. I've been out here for about 11 months.
Uh-huh.
Let me tell you a story about my agent, one of the biggest voiceover agents in Los Angeles.
Yes.
Sitting at dinner with him, and he says, "Oh, South Florida, you ever hear of a guy named Neil Rogers?"
Yeah.
And I went, "Oi!" And he said, "Man, you sound just like the guy." I said, "What are you, nuts? I am the guy." He got up out of his chair, he walked over, he kissed me on the top of my bald head.
Yeah.
He went to college down there. He's got a whole group of friends out here that love you.
Really?
If you went to a different city, like you say, a real living, breathing town,
Yeah.
you would see how happy you got, even in that crap hole business you call radio.
That's right, because I wouldn't have to sit and beg for calls every day. Do you have any idea that I'm doing the same thing now I was doing 20 years ago, begging for phone calls every day for 4 hours, talking to assholes, and begging for phone calls every day of my life?
You know, people don't appreciate you. You're too brilliant. You've got too much to say. You're too on the ball. I've been listening to you for many years now.
Yeah.
And what happens is they get spoiled down there. And then you go to any other city and you try to listen to real controversy. Fortunately, we've got Phil out here.
Yeah.
But you try to listen to something. Somebody's got an opinion.
Are you sure?
I'm absolutely positive.
Yeah.
And the bottom line is that people could be consuming you in this country.
Yeah.
That
I
love
should be,
you.
I should
that
be
you
on
would become
Nationwide.
a fad.
If I was on Nationwide, I'd be 50 times bigger than that fat-ass Nazi Rush Limbaugh. I'll tell you that right now.
But I don't know, you know, how you would feel about, you know, doing a show where you're happy to come in every day.
It would be a culture shock, I'll tell you. No, actually, when I come in, you can ask George, I'm pretty happy most days until the show starts. And then I go through my monologue and I talk, and then I can't get a response, and then I start getting pissed off, and I go home leaving here like shaking my head, like, what am I doing here?
The audience proves to you every single day why you hate that job.
No, I don't. I hate this town. I'll tell you that. I've said that many times. I just despise it here. This is the end of the world. You saw it. It's like a place for dead people. There's no living and breathing people here. It's 90% dead people.
You know, I'm sorry. I've got family and friends that live in South Florida, and that's not my problem. I feel like if I never go back to Florida, it'll be too soon.
Right. That's how I feel. I just came back from Amsterdam. I go 5 times a year to Europe, and every time the plane comes back and lands here, I want to blow my brains out.
It's depressing. You fly in, it's like a concrete parking lot.
Right.
There's no personality geographically to start with.
Right.
And if you don't consume the ocean, if you're not out on a boat, if you're not fishing, if you're not doing something that involves the ocean, let me tell you, there's a lot of ocean in this world with a lot better places attached to it.
Mm-hmm.
And
I fly across it 5 times a year.
You land in some cities, and there's mountains, and there's things, and it's like, oh my God, it's like a postcard. You come into Florida, and it's planned real estate. It's like trees here.
Hell, it damn near killed them.
Yeah.
I feel, actually, I've got, like I said, I've got family down there. I feel like if I go there, it's a nightmare that all of a sudden they're going to close the doors and say, okay, now we're not letting anyone else out.
So in other words, it's not just me. It's not because I'm a sourpuss and a badass and a hard ass. It's not that I want to whine and complain. It's just what it is. You know,
are
I've
a
been here
barometer
24
of the
years.
city. It's a sick, no town, dead place to live.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, you get into a coma in South Florida.
That's right.
And you get involved in the humidity and the heat.
Yeah.
And you get involved in the angst that is the energy of the city.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the complexion of the city is crap.
Yeah.
It's a nasty hole.
It
now,
is.
L.A. isn't the best city in the world, but you've got mountains and ocean and people that are happy here.
Oh, I hate it. I don't like LA
And
anymore.
LA
LA used to be great. LA used to be sensational.
Well, I'm here because of the business I'm in.
Yeah.
You know, and it's the best move I've ever made in my life. You know what happened to the man who got everything he ever wanted?
I mean, I don't speak Korean, so I don't know anything about LA anymore.
Well, you know what it was? The 818 area code was very preferable because it means money or luck in the Asian cultures.
Yeah.
And they were very upset when they switched it and had to split area codes.
So in other words, I assume that you're doing pretty good.
Neil, I'm doing better than I've ever done in my whole life.
Right.
I've always been happy personally. I have family and kids and friends, but professionally, radio kicked the crap out of me. I never had a great year in my life in that business.
Mm-hmm.
I had fun.
Mm-hmm.
It was a great job for a kid.
Yeah.
Coming out of college or whatever you're doing. But as a man gets older in that business, it's like on the Howard Stern crap where, WNBC having a guy who's half my age telling me how to do what I've been doing for twice as long as he's been in the business, I was ready to throw up. I saw no future in it. And it was fun, and there was a lot of things that happened that were great, but there was a lot of crap too.
Yeah, but you got to meet Mike Ranieri.
Every morning.
Yeah. And Henry Barrow.
Oh.
You know, if you were to go to a town.
Well, where am I going to go?
It
what would you
matter.
suggest? Where am I going to go?
Do it from Italy. Do it from your house in Italy.
Oh, so in other words, you're saying I should do the show from someplace else. Well, coincidentally, we're working on that because I can't live here forever. I mean, this place is the end of the world.
You're right.
It drags you down to their level.
There's happy people all over the place, and I don't find
That's right, and most of them aren't here.
You know what it is? There's, 3 million people in South Florida?
4.
4 million. Okay, and I would say fairly enough that there's about 2.5 to 3 million assholes.
Right. That's right.
Here, there's, about 8 million people here in L.A., 6 to 8 million? And there's about the same amount of assholes, so the density is a lot lower.
Right. The asshole per square inch is a lot lower out there.
So you run into fewer. On the road in South Florida, they'll cut you off and then shoot you the bird about it.
Are you
Here,
sure?
They'll cut you off, and they don't even know you exist.
Yeah.
Which is so much preferable, much
right.
more. I'd rather
listen,
everybody
I'm glad
leave
you're
me
happy.
alone.
You sound real happy, and I feel a lot better now after talking to you for 5 minutes. I feel like going out to a gun shop on 441 and blowing my brains out, but I'll survive.
Troy.
Take care of yourself, Mitch.
Love you, Neil.
See ya.
Bye.
The great Mitch Lewis, who said,
Roy.
and then he said,
Rectum.
and then,
Roy.
and a few of the others. Good guy. Bald, but a good guy. And he got the hell out of here. You see, people that get out of here, they're like, happy.